to Cowabunga Corner. This here is our final episode of Season 3, and I hope you guys have enjoyed the ride of all the interviews and reviews that we have given you. Now, to make this last episode of the season special, I decided to do something more up to topic of what people are looking for. So this is a review of the first 5 issues of the IDW Ninja Turtle comics that just started coming out this last summer, with the writers Tom Waltz and Kevin Eastman doing this new version of the Ninja Turtles. And we are talking about a new version of the Ninja Turtles, starting all the way back with their origin. This is a story that's never been told before. Now, if you've not read this comic and you don't want spoilers, this is not the blog to be watching. Come back after you read the first 5 issues, because, yeah, I might say a few things that you're going, I didn't know that, and I don't want to do that to you. So, this is the warning now. Spoiler alert. Now that I've got the spoiler alert over, let's give a little bit of history with the IDW comics. When Mirage sold the Turtles to Viacom, nobody knew what was going on with the comic books. We know that Mirage still has the rights to do 18 comics a year, but as of yet, there's been no movement on those comic books. So when we got news this last spring that IDW was picking up the Ninja Turtle comic books, there was a lot of excitement and a lot of wonderment on where they were going with this. A lot of people speculating one thing or another. Are they going to go straight Mirage? Are they going to go straight Archie? What's the pickup point? And so we've been watching, and shortly after that news was released, it was released that Kevin Eastman was a co-writer on the comics. So a lot of us really thought this was going to have a big Mirage twist. And they did use this to their advantage, releasing artwork where the Turtles are wearing all red bandanas. The original comic covers are all red bandana comics, and we're thinking, okay, it's the Mirage Turtles. Because as of yet, no other version of the Ninja Turtles, unless the Turtles are kids, like Archie picked up with, usually the Turtles all had colored bandanas. But with this, we're going, ooh, Mirage type thing. Kevin Eastman, red masks, yay. So at San Diego Comic-Con, they released their Ashcan, which is this very small, miniature, say size to a normal comic, for free if you went by the IDW booth. And also, if you went to the fan event that Nickelodeon was holding, they were also passing out these comics. And what it has is so many pages from the very first issue of the IDW comic. Does it give any real spoilers away? No. We're sitting here still in wonderment of going, hang on, who's Old Hob that the Turtles are fighting? What's the history behind the Turtles and Old Hob? And then we're sitting here wondering, where's Raphael? Why is there only 3 Turtles in this comic? Until, the last page, we see Raph kind of alone, and the hint that he is separate, definitely with 1 turtle missing. So we're hooked. We want to know what's going on. And we're waiting for the first issue to come out. When the first issue came out, I grabbed it up, flipped through it, excited, and then at the same time, the thrill of the comic turned into dreading the comic. Why are the Turtles in a lab only a year earlier? Why is April O'Neil naming the Turtles? This doesn't seem like the Turtles that I know. I like the history of them growing up as little turtles together. I've always enjoyed the idea of Splinter training them that way. And that they had so much history of being in training that when I first read this, I'm like, how can they cut out this huge, huge gap of the Ninja Turtles training, of their character development, of them getting to know the city? This is a big part of their life that for the first time in any Ninja Turtle media, it's just erased. We have 1 year, and somehow Raph is split up from them at the beginning of that year, and the other 3 turtles are on the search for him with Splinter in the lead. Of course, the 3 turtles are going, is Raph even still alive? And Splinter's, yes, he's alive, and I'll explain everything later. And I'm sitting here going, what? What's going on here? So they started to take us out of our comfort zone of what we know of the Ninja Turtles and started to give us something new. And this was something that I really did take notice in. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to hold back my judgment on these comics until I read at least the first 4 issues. Because at this point, Tom, I didn't know what you were thinking. So I had to get my hands on the other comics, and it was a killer waiting month to month. At the same time, I had a lot of other things going on. I was traveling doing the interviews for Cowabunga Corner. I've been going to conventions and doing other things on the internet. So as the months went by, I was picking up the books. And I was finding another challenge. The challenge started with the very first issue. I'm a collector. Everyone knows this. I love to try and get every different variant of whatever it is Ninja Turtles that I can get my hands on. Be it the movies. Yes, I have VHS, Laserdisc, DVD, Blu-ray. Be it the toys. I have the Turtles painted differently as different releases or just in different packaging. So, when a comic book is released and it is giving you a gazillion covers to find, it becomes a challenge. Now, some collectors may enjoy this challenge, but my mind is going, I have enough Ninja Turtle stuff I'm still trying to catch up on. And you know how much these end up costing? So, trying to find the variants and trying to get them all has been a challenge. I am not really up for IDW. Why are you doing this to us? I know, you like the extra spinach from us collectors. But I am trying to get them, but at the same time, I'm not really searching. The reason is I have so many different things I also want to get. So if I see a cover I have not got my hands on yet, yes, I will pick it up. But if I haven't, I'm not going to go out there and spend $50 to $60 just to get this blank cover comic that I don't own yet. It doesn't make sense to me. So, in the meantime, I will get as much as I can. I've gotten all of the comics that I have seen. I've been able to pick up the first 4 main variants. I've been able to grab my hands on individuals here, and then my comic book shop. Fantastic comic book shop. I go to a place called Comics and More here in Michigan, and the guy running the place, Chris, is wonderful. This guy has been so nice to actually save each of the variants for me, and I've been able to get them since I started going there. And any he gets his hands on ends up coming this way, and it's been helping me a lot with my collection. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate it. And anyone trying to get these comics that's international or just doesn't have a comic book store in their area that's carrying the Turtle comics, check out Comics and More. They do mail orders, and Chris is a wonderful guy to work with. He's very easy to work with, and if you're looking for anything, he will try and help you out. So I highly recommend Comics and More. And because of him, I'm now sitting here with some of the rarer, harder to find variants that just has my mind blown, like this Raphael #1 micro series reprint of the original cover. That one's supposed to be a hard one to find, and he was very, very awesome to get his hands on that and sell it to me. I'm like, yes! Turtle Comics, good! back to me getting into the storyline. Now, we learn as we go. Each issue has a little bit more to it. We see Raph and Casey's friendship starting to grow, and we see the Turtles getting a little bit more frustrated trying to find Raph. Hob is after Raph, and we see that April is still kind of taking part in the background, and we're sitting here going, where's this all going to meet? And issue 5, for me, is really where it came together. Issue 4, yes, they find Raph, they're back together as a family, but bam, that's it. Then we have the Raphael one, which I will get to the micro series another time, but it connects in showing Raph trying to get used to having a family. But issue 5 picks up with Raph training with his brothers and realizing that, he somehow knew these martial arts forms. And it goes into Splinter giving the history. The history of the Turtles inside this comic actually takes place back in ancient Japan. And it's the story of Hamato Yoshi. Hamato Yoshi is part of the Foot Clan, and Oroku Saki, of course, is part of it. And Saki decides to start going the wrong way with the foot. Hamato stands up against him and gets outcasted. Well, to try and protect his family, Hamato goes to flee with them. But when he gets there, he finds that Tang Shin has already been killed and his 4 kids are still alive. So he flees with the kids, raises them. And then one day when he's coming back with some gifts for his kids, the Foot found them. In front of Hamato, the Foot kills the 4 boys. And then they kill Hamato. What a twist! So, I'm sitting here jaw-slacked reading this comic, going, okay, if this is the case, if this is reincarnation, 1, how does Splinter get his memory of his past life? 2, how does he know these 4 turtles were his son? I cannot wait to see how this is brought together. How they actually make this story work. Because at this point in time, I'm still very shocked and surprised with the direction that the story is going. But I'll say one thing. The comic has held my interest. Every month, I'm sitting there waiting for the next issue to come out. Every month, I'm going to go see how many covers they have. And if you pick up one of the comics, you just open up the inside cover there, and it will show you a group of the different covers that you can find for that comic. It's been a ride, and it's only the beginning of the ride. I'm hoping that IDW keeps this story going for a long time to come, because at this point, they've got us on a new boat. It's true, we've all been used to the pattern that the Turtles were pet shop turtles, Splinter was Hamato Yoshi's pet rat, or Splinter was Hamato Yoshi, depending which storyline you like the most, and they all got oozed in New York sewers. To find this new storyline, it's intriguing. It's saying it's not from the cookie cutter that's just been molded a little bit different. It's giving us something completely different. A new story, so we're not sitting there going, I can predict where you're going with this. Because we can't right now. This is completely different and totally enjoyable. Now, the biggest surprise for me came at the end of issue 5. Yeah, you'd think that, them being the reincarnation of Yoshi's kids and Hamato Yoshi would be the biggest surprise, but no. The biggest surprise was when they blended it into the other medias by Splinter giving the other turtles colored bandanas. So now, the comics in which we're thinking was going to be the Red Masked Ninja Turtles isn't. This was a shock. I did not see it coming. I did not predict that at all. I thought for sure we were going to be sticking with the red bandanas. Though, according to Splinter, the reason they were wearing red was because it was Raph's favorite color, and it was a constant reminder of their mission. Okay. And now, he gave each of them their favorite colors. The normal colors we all know. So they got their weapons, they got their bandanas, and they are a team. Where are they going from there? That only Tom and Kevin can tell us. And of course, the people at Viacom, Nickelodeon, IDW, who actually get to see the behind-the-scenes stuff, which are extremely lucky people. Now, I gotta say, I really have been enjoying all of the artwork through the comic. It is very easy to see. It's nice on the eyes. I'm enjoying that it's in color. The coloring is done great. So overall, my opinion of the comic book, I'm loving it. I'm enjoying every bit of it. And I know this is something people have been waiting to hear on what I thought. And I personally hope to see more and more. And I'd like to see some more guest artist covers. Maybe some people who've worked on other stuff, Ninja Turtles in the past, doing some of the covers of the variants. We have seen quite a few. Even Peter Laird has done some stuff here. And I'm liking them. I just wish there wasn't so many at a time. It gets hard. But where's the fun of being a collector if you're not up for the challenge? Now, I have to point out one comic here that is my favorite amongst all of these comics in front of me. And that would be my comic that I got at Detroit Fan Fair. Anyone who knows about the Detroit Fan Fair variant, it was a blank cover with just the little logo in the bottom of Detroit Fan Fair. And Kevin Eastman was the guest of honor at the convention. That line was a 5-hour wait. Kevin did sketches up to 2 characters per comic as the people went through the line, and he took his time with everyone. And anyone who knows Kevin knows he's a fantastic guy and made that line worthwhile for anyone who went through it. That line remained like that for 2 days in a row. It was nonstop all the way through the convention. Thank you, Kevin, for taking time for everyone who came. When I got up there, I had 2 comics to be drawn up for 2 other people, as people sent me money to pick up the comics and asked for me to mail them the comics. So I went up there and got those 2 comics done in, and I didn't want to keep going through the line, especially since it was 5 hours, and I asked Kevin if he would send me mine back. And when he did, he sent me this beautiful sketched comic book. And you can see all 4 turtles in a cityscape behind them. I love it. This is my prize out of the IDW comics so far. I really think it matches up a lot to the other black and white variant covers that they've been putting out. And it is definitely a collector's piece that I will prize for a long time. IDW is doing amazing things for us fans right now, giving us something new to be excited about, to enjoy, and to look forward to every month as we sit here in anticipation of a new series and movies coming up in the following years. So, I hope that every Turtle fan that I know or who wants to help support keeping the Turtles around gets the chance to pick these up, check them out, read through them. If you haven't found them yet, write comics and more. Do something. Find a way of getting your hands on these comics. And I'm hoping everyone else who's been reading this is enjoying the new adventure as much as I am. This is it for Cowabunga Corner Season 3. Season 4 is already in the works for everyone. In fact, the first episode will be an interview with Kevin Eastman about the history of Ninja Turtles before he got with IDW. It's a pickup interview from the other one that I have posted, where we are in the same location, and he's got a lot of fun stories to share, going all the way back to the Coming Out of the Shells tour, the Next Mutation, and many other rare things that is not mentioned in too many interviews. So we got the chance to catch up with him then, and we made sure to get as many stories as we could to share with everyone else. And we have other interviews from actors from Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze, and other fans that have definitely made their voices heard. So as much of interviews, we also have a bunch of reviews planned. I hope to see you guys all back here. Cowabunga Corner Season 4 will start up in July. In the meantime, have a fantastic spring, and we'll see you this summer. Cowabunga!